Hello and welcome back to Dented Dreams Garage. Today we got our 1970 Monte Carlo up on the jack stands, and it's time for something I've never done before, but I've always wanted an old school with these on there. Tubular upper and lower control arms. These ones are from UMI Performance. They're greasable and they should be a direct bolt in. So I'm going to get the car jacked up a little bit higher, support the rear end with a different jack, see if we can get these suckers out of there. They've been in there since 1970. Probably assembled in '69. I already cracked 2 bolts loose. They weren't fun. This will be worth it. I suppose it's worth mentioning, this car has to go to Sikeston, Missouri in about 4 days. No pressure. No name nationals. And the reason we're swapping these control arms, well, I am getting a ton of bounce in the rear end. I mean, it's going to shake the car in half when you try to get up on it first gear. That could be other problems. What I've been told, control arms, what I should be looking at. Watch some videos. It definitely has the symptoms of bad bushings. I don't want to spend the time doing the bushings, so I got the tubular up and lower control arms. Figured, how often do you change control arms? Might as well go big or go home. And I am home, so I'll just go big. Okay, we're up. Pretty good distance. On jack stands, I'm going to take a... I'm so hungover. I'm going to take a jack... Wow. Words. Blah, blah. I'm taking a jack. I'm putting it on the rear end under the side that I'm working on. Actually, I'll probably put it under the pumpkin. I'm going to see if that helps loosen the lower control arms up. I'm only doing... Oop, there's a mosquito. I'm only doing one at a time. This is my terrible baby jack. We'll see if that fits. I don't even know if it'll go that high. We might have to get some blocks. One Mississippi. Oh, will you make it? Come on. That's all she's got. I'll put a block in there. Everything gets harder with one hand. Okay. I don't want to go too much with that, but supposedly that helps take pressure off the control arms. I've got the nuts off on this side over here. Those bolts are tight as hell. There wasn't even a chance of getting them out. So I got the car up higher and trying to take some pressure off, see if they'll come out now. And kind of as expected, nothing there. It's still tight. I doubt this will do anything, but... Nope. The happy part is even if I remove this wheel, it wouldn't, the drum would still be in the way. It's not actually going to help me. I could just, I mean, if I could knock one bolt out, I think I'd get it. Maybe I'll go look at the front one, but that muffler's in the way. There's no way I'm going to be able to tap that one. That's literally where some of that grease is up there. So I think this one's going to be my shot. Okay, I'm losing patience. Time for plan B. Rest in peace, suckers. Wow, that one barely even moved up here. That one's nice and smooth. I wonder if that's normal. Wow. Okay. Shouldn't have any tension on it with that being out. I wonder why that's like that. Wow. And I still can't get the bolt out. Cool. I use a wood block on the back side of this, and then run the impact. And that, in theory, I don't know if I'll be able to get the camera in a spot where you can see it. That should make this bolt come out of here. Wow. Well, it started to come out. Plan C. We'll heat it up, pound it back and forth with the hammer a little, see if it'll come out then. Spins by hand, I don't know what it's getting caught on. Oh yeah. Let's just burn the bushing out. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. That's not gonna knock years off my life, breathing this in. Well, the bolt can't be stuck. If it ain't got no bolt head. I'm gonna get a punch. I'm sending it through. Full send. Sometime later. That bolt is like most of the way out. I have cut off both ends. It still ain't coming out. Hitting it with a hammer and a screwdriver because my punch wasn't long enough. Most of the way it's just not going. Something's holding it. Anyway, my friend here, which I actually forgot I had an air hammer, or I should have started that way. Thank you to Riley from Riley's Junkyard and Petting Zoo, because the 3 days he spent helping me working on this car, he knows where all my stuff is. And he was like, dude, don't you have an air hammer in your cabinet and a whole bunch of fittings sitting like right next to it? Yep, I did. I just forgot I had it. And this fitting fits perfectly in that hole. So I got the air compressor going. Let's try that. Works when I don't need it to. That's great. Do I just not have enough air pressure? See, work out here, it's just not under the car. What the hell? Alright, well, that's why that wasn't coming out of there. I mean, this is seriously messed up. I would actually be surprised with how hard it was to turn in there that the bushing was able to work properly, and maybe that's what's causing some of my problems. That sucked. Alright, well, I guess let's see if the rest of this car is going to fight me the same way. I'm going to go try to do the front bolt. I'll let you know how that goes. Alright, that front bolt came out like nothing. Just bloop, came out. I baffled. Anyway, as we're looking at these, I guess as how they would sit in a car. Factory versus aftermarket. This will be how this one goes in. Aftermarket ones have grease certs. Let's just go ahead and test fit it and see if it actually goes in right. Okay, so I want my grease certs down, obviously. And you want the sway bar location, or sway bar, these holes right here. You want those to the rear. So this is going to take some doing to get this one in here. So just to confirm, I'm going back, I'm looking, making sure my center of my bushings to the center of my bushings are about the same, and if this wasn't hacked in half, they are. So I'm gonna have to get creative. Since I only have one person, we can't rotate that rear end with just me. I'll find a way. Wow. Okay, so our next deal is going to be this. I need to pull that rear end forward. I'm going to use a strap. That should get it. So, I'm dirty. On like my third set of clothes. Had to fix a fuel leak too. Let's look at what I got going. Oh, that was my back. So I hooked a ratchet strap around the rear end to the frame. I've got the front bolt in, and I pulled the rear end about 1.5 inches forward. That looks like it's going to work for me. So an important note, if you're ever using the ratchet strap method, which I just saw in another video, unfortunately I don't know what channel it was on, so I can't give the guy credit. But whoever you are, channel out there that did the strap for the rear control arms, thank you. An important note though is that not all straps are created equal, at least the ratcheting function. These are my cheap Harbor Freight orange straps. They actually survived. My more expensive ones that I had, i.e. this one, I got within about 1/4 inch of where I needed to go, and then it just completely quit. The gears started slipping. I don't think it's recovering from this. My Harbor Freight one did it. If it dies, it's cheap to replace. That's just something to note. Right, and that did work a charm with that ratchet strap. So this bolt's in, that bolt's in. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down, take off my strap, and I guess we'll start on the other side. All right, side one's done. It is looking pretty. Let me. It's a very nice. It's a very not nice, but that's very nice. So we got one lower in. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the other one. Not gonna record that unless I run into some crazy stuff. Well, we only have a few more days left until the 1970 Monte Carlo that we named Defiance goes to Sykeston, Missouri for the No Name Nationals. I am up tonight trying to get the rear, upper, and lower trailing arms in. They are fighting me, but I got to get that done so that we can get this carpet and interior and all of the other stuff in here to be ready to leave on Thursday. This is going to come right to the limit on time. So, day 2. As with most things on a car, the first time's the hardest. Knowing what I know now, we could do these rear lower control arms. I would call it 45 minutes if all the tools were laid out. Firstly, never used an air hammer, really. A little bit on the love, never used it since. Couldn't find my air tool oil. Found out that my substitute was the worst thing ever. I killed my air hammer. Bought a new air hammer. Used the proper air lubrication tool oil. Boom, that helped out a lot. Secondly, this ratchet strap, which I'll show you in a second. Over here, I cut out and removed the old lower control arm first. On reinstalling the other one, I needed the rear end to go forward like 2.5 inches. Well, that sucked with the ratchet strap. So on this passenger side, I actually preemptively put the ratchet strap on, which was a lot easier because the control arm was holding it in place. I just needed the ratchet strap to keep it in place. So, pulling this one out, I cut it with the Sawzall. I used the new air hammer with the air tool, knocked out the frickin' bolt. The other bolt came out just like the other side, just nice and easy. Grabbed the new one, put it up there, got the bolt through. I use a magnet on the frame, one of those telescoping ones. That lets me align the bolt. Boom. The lower, the ratchet strap, it did stretch it just a hair. I don't know, maybe 2 clicks. Clicked it up twice, boom, and now we are bolted in. So I still have the ratchet strap up there. I'm going to tighten everything up, let my ratchet strap out, and you can see I just hooked from the frame, wrapped around the rear end over here. Boom. Doing that preemptively saved a lot of time. Using the air tool properly saved a lot of time. Having really good Sawzall blades to cut through those. I have no idea how you would get those A-arms out without cutting them, but it's not like they were reusable. So cutting those, air hammer, wiggle, use a magnet, get all that out, new one in, use the magnet to get it back through the frame to get that bolt in, tighten this up. The only thing I have left to do is tighten those, grease the grease certs, drop this on the ground, and hopefully drive it and enjoy it again.